pitching here in this one. So taking a look at the starting lineups for the visiting Bucks. Caden Jarvis, number 5, the pitcher, will lead off. Hunter Gaudill will be right after him in the 2-hole. Lance Cole batting 3rd. Jeremiah Fishpaw, the catcher, batting cleanup. Austin Estridge batting 5th. Number 6, Dylan Haydinger. Number 24, batting 6th, Dylan Haydinger. Number 12, Jeremiah Roberson batting 7th. Ty Kraft will be hitting 8th. And then Blaze Metzger rounding out the lineup, batting 9th. For the home Eagles, Van Wintersteller leading off again, getting the start on the mound here today. Parker Weitzman batting 2nd. Deagan Moore batting 3rd. Nate McCartney, the 3rd baseman, batting 4th. Joe Zizzo, left fielder, batting 5th. Grady Riggle behind the dish, batting 6th. Caden Carpenter batting 7th. Braden Hickman batting 8th. And Gabe Stratton batting 9th, playing center field. So again, some tough weather here today, tough conditions. A little cold, very, very windy. Taking a look a little bit deeper at some of these teams. As for the Eagles, led by head coach Jordan Oliver, have lost 4 straight games after a 2-0 start. Offensive output has dipped a little bit, scoring just 4 total runs in their last 2 N10 losses. So again, definitely going to look to get their first conference win as well. Player spotlight for the Eagles. Deagan Moore, sophomore outfielder, one of the N10's most explosive hitters, blazing speed and hitting .500 on the season. So they're going to have to rely on his bat. Of course, we mentioned Van Wintersteller, the pitcher, as well. So that Colonel Crawford lineup going to look to bring the bats here, defend home field. As for the Buckeye Central Bucks, Lance Cole, the junior, steady hitter with plenty of pop in his swing, very patient at the plate as well. Leads Buckeye Central in RBIs this season and gets on base nearly every other plate appearance, hitting .381 this season, 7 RBIs in total this season. So if Buckeye Central is going to want to come in and get a win, they'll need to rely on his bat. Some of the keys to victory here in this game for Buckeye Central: you're going to have to work the count. You're going to have to try and get on base any way you can against a really tough pitching matchup with Van Wintersteller, but smart speed on the base pass can't be caught stealing. We know Buckeye Central loves to be aggressive, trying to steal bases and things of that nature. Keys to victory now for the home team in Colonel Crawford. Feed the fire. You're going to need the offensive bats to get going. You have to stop the skid. We mentioned a 4-game losing streak. No better way to get back in the win column than here today against a conference rival on your home field. So we'll see how both teams fare. Should have a great matchup here today again between 2 pitchers, Caden Jarvis and Van Wintersteller. I also had the pleasure of calling a Van Wintersteller game when he started earlier a few weeks ago against Crestline, actually, and he pitched just as well as you would expect him to. Teams taking the field here as the wind continues to kick in. Colonel Crawford in their home white uniforms. As for Colonel Crawford in their road red uniforms with the gray pants. So Van Wintersteller comes onto the mound. He'll take his warm-up tosses. As for the Buckeye Central Bucks, leading off will be Caden Jarvis. Hunter Caudill will be due up next, and then again we mentioned Lance Cole batting 3rd. And if Buckeye Central really wants to make a statement, the top of that order is very dangerous. Come out, hit the ball, get on base for Lance Cole. You know he is very likely to hit him in. So we'll see how both offenses fare today. Again, I mentioned the tough conditions, the wind kind of blowing all over, kind of coming in at times, going to the right at times. We'll see how that affects some fly balls. Both offenses going to look to try and keep the ball on the ground. Of course, with it being a little bit chillier, the ball not going to carry as much. Pretty deep field here at Colonel Crawford. 306 to the right field foul pole, 306 to the left field foul pole as well. About 350 dead center. Would be very impressed if any hitter today tries to get it that far with this, just the wind going all over. So getting our first look at Wintersteller on the mound. Throws a variety of pitches. Has a good fastball, good breaking ball to go with that, but Again, a loaded Buckeye Central lineup, going to make it tough on them. So Buckeye Central up to bat here in the top of the first. Caden Jarvis leading off, number 5. And Jarvis, again, getting the start on the mound, so he will be very busy. And he is one of the best players in this Buckeye Central lineup. Umpire says it's a beautiful day for baseball, and I couldn't agree more. Winterstellar steps to the rubber, Jarvis in the box, and we're set for action here on a Tuesday evening from Colonel Crawford High School. First pitch is outside for a ball, goes to the backstop, and Jarvis begins ahead in the count. The next pitch from Winterstellar, swing and a miss from Jarvis. Winterstellar was able to find the zone, draw the swing and a miss. Again, this Buckeye Central lineup very aggressive, going to look to try and get ahead in the count, and if they are ahead in the count, they will be swinging. One ball, one strike here on Jarvis. Winterstellar might be waiting for the wind to die down a little bit. Now kicks and fires. Misses high for a ball. It'll be 2-1. Mentioned the keys of the game, and could really be applicable for both teams. Patience at the plate. Don't want to help out the pitcher at all. Jarvis hits this one deep right side and foul. That'll be 2 strikes. 2-2 count. And you can tell already off of that foul ball, the wind carrying it already. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. Infield trying to jump around, trying to stay loose. You don't want to get caught. Tighten it up here in this cold weather. But this is average April weather for you here in Ohio. Winterstellar delivers. Misses just barely on the outside part of the plate. And it'll be a full count here to Caden Jarvis, the leadoff hitter. The payoff pitch from Winterstellar. Swing and a miss from Jarvis. Strike 3. So first batter of the day is a long battle between Jarvis and Winterstellar, but Winterstellar wins here, and he gets his first strikeout of the game. That'll bring up number 1, Hunter Caudill. Will come up with 1 out. Winterstellar now settled in. Fires a swing and a miss. Until Winterstellar is really using the outside part of the plate. Trying to draw those swings and misses. Has that good breaking ball. The 0-1 from Winterstellar. Swing and a miss again. Hunter Caudill behind in the count. 0-2. Winterstellar quickly fires, misses outside for ball 1. Had a pitch to waste there. One and 2 is the count. Winterstellar kicks and fires. Swing and a miss from Caudill. Winterstellar makes quick work there after a long first at-bat in Jarvis, but 2 strikeouts to start this one here for Van Winterstellar. And that will bring up Lance Cole. Again, leads the team in RBIs with 7. We'll see if he can get aboard here in this first inning. Winterstellar fires and is in there for strike 1. So Winterstellar settling in nicely here on this first inning. Again, fell behind to Jarvis in that first at-bat, came back, draw the strikeout. Lance Cole hits this one sharply over to second base. Fielded cleanly, thrown over in time for the out. Buckeye Central goes 1-2-3 in the top of the first. Nice inning from Van Winterstellar. We'll head to the bottom of the first here from Colonel Crawford.
Wouldn't it be nice if your dog understood? He's going to send a line drive down the field. It'll be fielded on the bounce. That is Schieffer. Schieffer finds a hole at the center. Schieffer turns on the burners. Schieffer could go. He's at the 50, 45. He's got one man to beat. Schieffer with the ball in his left hand. He's going to take it to the house. Whitford opens up the second half with the kick return touchdown.
Buckeye Central went 1-2-3 from Caden Jarvis, Caudill, and then Lance Cole. But now we'll see our first look at Caden Jarvis on the mound. We said before the game this very well could be a pitcher's duel deep into this one as both teams bringing out their aces here in this one. So we'll get our first look at Caden Jarvis. He'll have his hands full with this Colonel Crawford lineup who are looking to bounce things back. Van Wintersteller will lead off, Parker Weithman on deck, and then Deagan Moore will bat third. Those will be the three due up for the Eagles here in the bottom of the first. So Wintersteller did his part on the mound, getting 2 strikeouts and then a ground out. And now we'll see if Colonel Crawford can try and strike first here in the home half of this first inning. So Caden Jarvis, very similar to Van Wintersteller. Good fastball, good breaking ball. Loves to pound the zone, not afraid to go at the hitter. But we'll see if this cold weather affects either pitcher or either lineup as well. So Wintersteller leading off for Colonel Crawford. Again, Parker Weithman on deck, Deagan Moore in the hole. Nate McCarty batting cleanup if the Eagles can get to him this inning. One thing I noticed at the top of the first there, that Colonel Crawford defense try to move around in between pitches, not trying to stand still, tighten up, trying to beat the cold here in what has been a chilly and windy day here at Colonel Crawford. Caden Jarvis toes the rubber. Wintersteller in the mound, or in the batter's box, excuse me. Jarvis misses low for ball 1. Jarvis steps off and now steps back on. After ball 1, the 1-0, finds his zone there for strike 1. Jarvis, one thing about Jarvis, loves to work quick. Does not take his time out there on the mound. Wintersteller line drive to second base is caught. That'll be out number 1. Wintersteller got a good piece of it, but you can tell the wind and that cold weather, the ball is not traveling as far as you would think. So Jarvis quickly gets out number 1, and that'll bring up number 1 now, Parker Weithman. Weithman playing shortstop today. Looks at strike 1. And I noticed this last time again, when I watched Jarvis against Bucyrus. He was in a great rhythm as he fires in for strike 2 there, but just likes to work quick. Doesn't want to get the ball and take his breath and sit. When he's going, he's going. And already off to that kind of start here. Quickly ahead, 0-2 to Weithman. And this is low for ball 1. Second baseman Ty Kraft for Buckeye Central. Caught that line out from Wintersteller. Now the 1-2. Missed outside, evens up the count at 2-2. The 2-2 from Jarvis. Fires. Misses high on the breaking ball. Full count. So he was ahead 0-2 on Weithman. Saw Weithman choke up on the bat a little bit. Now he's fought back. It's a full count. Jarvis fires. Misses high. So we've got our first base runner aboard. It's Parker Weithman. He draws a full count walk. And he heads to first base as that brings up number 4, Deagan Moore. was our player spotlight before the game. Jarvis throws back over to first, not in time. We highlighted Lance Cole for Buckeye Central and Deagan Moore here for Colonel Crawford. One of the more explosive hitters in this lineup. The throw over to first gets away from the fielder. And Weithman will stroll into second base. So he finds himself in scoring position. Buckeye Central was awfully worried about Weithman over there at first. Threw over a couple of times. Comes back to bite him here as they've now got a runner in scoring position with one out. The 1-0 to Deagan Moore. Breaking ball in there for a strike. Got the inside part of the plate. One from Jarvis. Big lead over at second. He throws back to second, not in time. So Colonel Crawford really trying to take advantage on the base path here. Jarvis throws, swing and a miss. Got McCartney chasing the breaking ball on the outside part of the plate. Hit over to the first base side, fielded, and got in time. Jarvis beat him to the bag. Deagan Moore hit it. It was fielded cleanly. The toss over to Jarvis. Excellent job by Jarvis to cover first base. And that'll be the first out of the inning, or second out of the inning, excuse me. That'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Nate McCartney, with a runner on third as Weithman advances. Jarvis will look to try and get out of it. Misses high for ball one. The 1-0 from Jarvis again. Runner on third, two down. Fouled off on the right side. McCarty would love to bring this run home. Give Colonel Crawford that first lead of the game here in the first inning. From Jarvis. Misses high for ball two. 2-1. Jarvis working quickly, fires again, wide over to the second baseman and caught cleanly for out number 3. Second baseman Ty Kraft makes a couple of nice plays here in this inning. Scoreless first inning from Colonel Crawford. We go to the second. We'll be right back.
Formal. 100 years of can-do. 100 years of milestones. 100 years of family. Generation after generation, its legacy lives on. The one for all since 1923.
Second inning set to get underway here from Colonel Crawford High School. Scoreless first inning. Van Wintersteller back on the mound, went 1-2-3, and the top of the first there, and then Caden Jarvis came back out and gave up a base runner. Ended up getting that base runner over to third, but was able to get out of it by getting a couple of outs, and that led to our scoreless first inning. So we'll get our second look at Van Wintersteller here on the mound. Recorded 2 strikeouts in that first inning. Heart of the order coming up for Buckeye Central. Jeremiah Fishpaw batting in the 4th spot. Get our first look at him, along with Austin Estridge on deck, and then Dylan Hadinger will be in the hole. That's the 3 due up for the Bucks here in the top of the second inning. The wind here has not died down one bit. It's only picked up. Continues to make it tough on everybody here. So this will be Jeremiah Fishpaw, number 22, the catcher. You can tell how cold it is. Some of these players have the football hand warmers on, just trying to keep their hands warm in between innings and whenever they can. So Winterstellar toes the rubber. Fishpaw steps into the box. And second inning is underway from Colonel Crawford High School. This one is popped up, foul territory, might be playable, just out of the reach from the catcher for Colonel Crawford, Grady Riggle. Made a nice effort to toss the mask and run over there, but it's a big backstop here. Plenty of room in between the dugouts and behind home plate. So Winterstellar gets ahead 0-1. Fishpaw aggressive though, coming out swinging. Winterstellar fires. This one is ripped back up the middle for a base hit from Fishpaw, and Buckeye Central has their first base runner of the game. First hit of the game as well, and it's a leadoff single from Fishpaw. Austin Estridge, number 6, will be up next. Estridge, the shortstop. They'll look to keep things going here after they got the leadoff man aboard. Winterstellar from the stretch for the first time today. Shows bunt. Went foul. So Buckeye Central might be looking to go a little bit of small ball here. Of course, with this weather, balls aren't going to be flying as much. Hits might be hard to come by. So when they get a run around, especially the leadoff runner, they want to do what they can to take advantage. Winterstellar toes the rubber again. Ahead in the count 0-1. Decent lead runner going. Ball misses outside for ball one. The throw down to second, just barely not in time. Fishpaw didn't slide, didn't need to. He's in there safely with a stolen base, and Buckeye Central now has their leadoff man in scoring position. One count here on Estridge. Came out looking to bunt. Winterstellar fires, and it's fouled off again. And it's steal down to second. Just quite not in time. So runner on second. 1-2 count, nobody down here in the top of the second. And first time Winterstellar's had to work with traffic on the base paths here in this one. Moved pretty swiftly through that first inning. Winterstellar fires, misses outside for ball two. So again, Estridge came out aggressive, looking to bunt, swinging at a couple of pitches. Staying patient. Dylan Hadiger waits on deck. Winterstellar looks back the runner. And now fires. And misses outside. It'll be a full count. Winterstellar not moving quite as quick as Jarvis was in that first inning. Winterstellar fires, misses for ball four. So Buckeye Central has their first two men reach base. A single from Fishpaw, he stole second. Estridge walks the first. And that's now two guys on for the third baseman, Dylan Hadinger. So Hadinger looking to do some damage here with two on and nobody down. Infield playing in, especially the first baseman, Caden Carpenter, well into the infield grass. Throw back to second, nice move. Got him in time. Fishpaw is picked off. Excellent move from Van Winterstellar. caught the runner sleeping. We've got a bit of an argument here. I think Fishpaw heavily disagreed that he got picked off, had some words for the umpire. I mean, it was an excellent move from Wintersteller. It looked like he was looking in, trying to get the signal. Quickly come set. Him and the shortstop on the same page, turns and fires and clearly gets him in time. Not much of an argument there for Fishpaw, and that's a big first out here for Van Wintersteller, as it'll now be a runner on first with one out. Estridge, who just walked and reached a board, but now Haydinger to the plate. The third baseman has not seen a pitch yet. First pitch is low for ball one. Bit more of a slide step from Wintersteller. So when he's out of the windup, likes to do a little bit of a pause leg kick, try and throw some of the hitters off. Big lead from Estridge over at first. In there for strike one, outside part of the plate. Wintersteller evens it up 1-1. And Wintersteller recorded a pair of strikeouts in that first inning. Would love to get a third. He tries to get out of the jam here. Runner goes. Lined over to the second baseman. Fielded cleanly. Will throw to first in time. They get the out. The runner advances. But that is two down here in the inning for Buckeye Central. Number 12, Jeremiah Robinson, the right fielder, will be due up next. Two outs and a runner in scoring position here in the top of the second. The wind continues to whip around. Wintersteller fires first pitch. Misses outside, goes to the backstop. Estridge will stroll into third. And just like that, the first run of the game awaits third base with two outs. First at bat of the day for Robinson. Number 7 hitter, playing right field today. It's a great opportunity to get his team on the board here with that runner on the third. Two outs. Softly grounded, goes past Wintersteller over the second baseman, fields it quickly, fires to first in time as Buckeye Central strands a runner on third. Wintersteller gets out of the jam nicely. Remains 0-0 here as we head to the bottom of the second from Colonel Crawford.
This is Steve King.
He's going to send a line drive down the field. It'll be fielded on the bounce. That is Schieffer. Schieffer finds a hole at the center. Schieffer turns on the burners. Schieffer could go. He's at the 50, 45. He's got one man to beat. Schieffer with the ball in his left hand. He's going to take it to the house. Whitford opens up the second half with the kick return touchdown.
From Colonel Crawford High School, the weather has not slowed down as we remain scoreless. Had said before the game, very well could be a pitcher's duel, and that's how it's shaping up to be so far through the first inning and a half. We'll get our next look at Caden Jarvis out here on the mound for Buckeye Central. Van Wintersteller, 2 shutout innings so far. A little bit of traffic on the base path there. Did a nice job of getting out of it. Nice pickoff move to second. Buckeye Central had their first 2 guys on. 2 guys on, nobody out. But Colonel Crawford able to get out of it. First hitters due up for Colonel Crawford. Number 3, Joe Zizzo. Grady Riggle, number 7. And then number 12, the first baseman, Caden Carpenter, will round out the 3 due up for the Eagles. First pitch from Jarvis, high and in. Just missed for ball 1. So Zizzo looking to get things going here in the bottom of the second. Swing and a miss. High heat from Caden Jarvis. Colonel Crawford was able to put the bat on the ball in that first inning, made some contact, just unable to get aboard. And Jarvis misses high again for ball 2. Overall for Colonel Crawford, though, pretty deep lineup. Anybody is dangerous to get on. This one has popped up. Right field side, foul territory. Play it cannot be made. Out in right field from Jeremiah Robinson. So that'll be 2 strikes on Zizzo as he jogs back to the plate. And again, that foul ball just barely out of the reach from Robinson. So Jarvis steps in. You see the umpire's pants waving in the air just with all this wind. Jarvis misses again, full count. Jarvis fires and called strike 3. Zizzo thought he walked, tossed the bat, and jogged down and everything, but the umpire said not today. First strikeout for Caden Jarvis. As Zizzo is caught looking. That'll bring up the catcher, number 7, Grady Riggle. Winds coming in at about 14 miles an hour today. As Jarvis misses for ball 1. But the wind and the conditions not affecting either pitcher so far, as that's a swing and a miss from Riggle. As Jarvis evens it up at 1-1. Jarvis, a nice velocity on that fastball, misses low for ball 2. Two-1 is the count. Jarvis fires. Misses high again. So far this inning, Jarvis missing everything a little high. Drawn a fair amount of swings and misses from that high heat, but a 3-1 count. Fires in there for strike 2 on Riggle, and we've got a full count. Jarvis looking for his second strikeout. Fires, misses inside. Riggle draws the walk. So the 1-out walk puts Riggle on first. That'll bring up the big first baseman in Caden Carpenter. No batting gloves either. Plenty of power in the swing for Carpenter. So we'll see if the Eagles can do some damage here as they've got a runner aboard. Second walk issued by Jarvis. Fires in there for strike 1, gets ahead of Caden Carpenter. So Carpenter, you can tell it's cold wearing a ski mask, but no sleeves, no batting gloves. Jarvis, swing and a miss. Throw down to second as the runner's going. Riggle. And they're going to say, got him in time. Caught stealing. Great throw down from Fishpaw. Kind of a late jump from Riggle. The throw down right on the money. Got him on the back. It looked like kind of an awkward slide from Riggle, but that's now 2 down here in the second inning. As Carpenter's behind 0-2. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Jarvis quickly gets out of the inning, and that'll take us scoreless through 2 innings. We'll head to the 3rd inning again. You're listening here on WBCO or watching on Ohio Report.
Farmall. 100 years of can-do. 100 years of milestones. 100 years of family. Generation after generation, its legacy lives on. The one for all since 1923.
Underway here from Colonel Crawford High School. Scoreless so far through the first 2 innings. Both teams had a couple of base runners, unable to do much with them. Get our next look at Van Wintersteller so far. Again, we mentioned at the beginning of the game, very well could be a pitcher's duel, and that's just what we have here. Wintersteller and Caden Jarvis going blow for blow so far. We'll see if Wintersteller can keep things going. Both pitchers have had some runners on, but they've worked out of it nicely. Last inning, Wintersteller had a great pickoff to second base. Was able to get a big out as he had the first 2 runners aboard, so Buckeye Central had 2 on, nobody out, but unable to capitalize. The 3 due up for Buckeye Central would be number 13, Ty Kraft, the second baseman, number 15, Blaze Metzger, the left fielder, and then top of the order in Caden Jarvis will be back up for the Bucks. So Ty Kraft, the second baseman, steps into the box. Wintersteller toes the rubber. Ty Kraft made a couple of nice plays at seconds, caught a couple of lineouts. Both second basemen have been busy for both teams, as Wintersteller misses outside for ball 1. If you're Buckeye Central, if you're going to score, strike first, this might be the time. Get some runners on, top of the order coming back up. Wintersteller, the 1-0. This is outside for ball 2. A lot of Wintersteller's misses have been a little bit off the plate, but he's also got plenty of swings and misses that break him ball off the plate. Misses outside again, 3-0. So we'll see if Ty Kraft has the green light or not, but he is ahead 3-0. As Buckeye Central looks to get their leadoff man aboard for the second straight inning. Wintersteller puts it in for a strike. Now for Ty Kraft, going to have to try and swing the bat here if Wintersteller gives him something to hit. Misses outside for ball 4. It'll be a 5-pitch walk to start the inning, and Buckeye Central has the leadoff man aboard for the second straight inning. So number 15, Blaze Metzger, the left fielder, will step into the box. He's the only lefty in the lineup for Buckeye Central. Throw over to first. Not quite in time. Ball got away from Carpenter. Runner is safe in there. So Wintersteller showing off a pretty good pickoff move, trying to keep those runners close. Already picked off Fishpaw at second base. So Wintersteller comes set again, runner on first. The throw back over to first. Not quite in time. Runner is safe. Of course, Wintersteller trying not to give up any steals. Don't want runners to start running on them. Wintersteller fires, misses inside. Runner goes anyway. The throw down is not in time. Gets into the outfield, but Ty Kraft is in with a stolen base. As Wintersteller's hat gets blown off, that's just how much this wind is whipping in. So leadoff guy gets into the scoring position for the second straight inning for Buckeye Central. Remember, Fishpaw singled to start the inning, ended up stealing second. Wintersteller walked the next guy, but then picked off Fishpaw anyway to get the out. Squares around a bunt. It's fair. Wintersteller comes off the bag, throws the first in time, covered by the second baseman, so they get the out, but the runner moves over. So now it's a runner on third with 1 out, in the top of the order coming up in Caden Jarvis. 0 for 1 today, struck out back in the first inning. I believe Wintersteller fell behind in that account to Jarvis, but was able to battle back and get one of his 2 strikeouts. Ball misses outside as Jarvis squared around a bunt. So again, with this weather and these conditions, Buckeye Central looking to play some small ball here. Got another runner on third. Both teams have had some traffic on the bases, but unable to capitalize yet. Wintersteller fires at Jarvis, pulls back the bunt, misses outside. It'll be ball 2. Now I'll be interested if Jarvis could put down this bunt. Where does Colonel Crawford go with the ball? Do they come home with the runner? Do they get the out at first? Wintersteller behind 2-0 here to Jarvis. Jarvis swings away, fouled it off. No longer looking to bunt. Now looking to be aggressive here as he was ahead in the count. Still is, though, 2-1. 1 out, runner on third. Wintersteller fires, misses for ball 3. Wintersteller has issued a pair of walks here so far. A pair of strikeouts to go with that. Worked out of the jam pretty nicely last inning. Going to look to do the same here. Misses at just barely outside for ball 4 as Jarvis walks down to first. And that'll be runners at the corners here for Hunter Caudill. One out here in the top of the third. Caudill steps in, 0 for 1 today. Struck out in the first inning. Wintersteller misses outside. Ball 1 falls behind in the count to Caudill. So now if you're Buckeye Central and you're really set on bunting, trying to get a run in, still wouldn't be a bad time to do it. Runner goes in there for strike 1, but Jarvis gets down to second. So now 2 runners in scoring position here with 1 out for Hunter Caudill. Outfield playing pretty close in. Caudill squared around a bunt. Missed it. Maybe he got a piece of it. Either way, foul ball, but it's going to be strike 2 on Hunter Caudill, and he's now going to have to swing away. So Buckeye Central just trying to do whatever they can to try and get a run in. Wintersteller misses outside for ball 2, evens up the count. Caudill could really do some damage here. Base hit, likely scores 2. Wintersteller blows it by him for strike 3. Nice battle from Van Wintersteller to strike out Caudill for the second time. And that will be his 3rd strikeout. That'll bring up Lance Cole, 0 for 1. Grounded out to second in the first inning. And Wintersteller looking to get out of the jam once again. Had a runner on third with 1 out. Ended up walking Jarvis, got him to second. So Buckeye Central had 2 in scoring position with 1 out. And pitch misses inside to Lance Cole. We mentioned Lance Cole, one of our players to watch here before the game. Steady hitter with plenty of pop in the bat. Leads the team in RBIs with 7. Could potentially have 2 more waiting for him as Wintersteller misses for ball 2. Wintersteller fires. Gets it in there for strike 1. Now Cole will look to be aggressive here in the 2-1 count with 2 outs. Wintersteller fires. Strike 2 is in there. Looks like a check swing from Cole. Didn't know if he wanted to go or not. It was a good pitch from Wintersteller. Tied him up. 2-2. 2 down. 2 runners on. Wintersteller fires. Misses for ball 3. Full count. First base is open if he walks him. Jeremiah Fishpaw on deck, who is 1 for 1. Wintersteller misses outside for ball 4 and walks. The bases loaded. Cole is able to work the walk. And now Jeremiah Fishpaw, the catcher, will come back up. Led off last inning with a single. As Grady Riggle will go out and talk to his pitcher. So 2 out, bases loaded, scoreless game here in the top of the 3rd. Fishpaw looking to get the first runs in of the game. Winterstellar looking to get out of the inning. First pitch. Misses low for ball one. It's now the fourth walk of the day already from Winterstellar. Second walk this inning. Winterstellar fires. Nice breaking ball, gets it in there for strike one. Definitely caught Fishpaw off guard, but evens up the count at 1-1. Winterstellar, breaking ball again, misses inside. Looking like he really doesn't want to give Fishpaw a fastball to sit on. Behind in the count, 2-1. Fires, misses outside, 3-1. And all of a sudden, Buckeye Central, who was very aggressive to start the game, is now a little more patient here in these later innings. Winterstellar fires, outside part of the plate for strike two. I think Fishpaw thought he walked, but it's now a full count. He's going to have to protect. Full count, 2 outs, bases loaded, scoreless game so far. Winterstellar fires, misses outside for ball four, and our first run of the game comes in via walk. Fifth walk of the game for Winterstellar, and that puts Buckeye Central ahead 1-0, and that brings up number 6, Austin Estridge, who walked in his first bat. Winterstellar gets ahead here, fires in for strike one. And if you're Winterstellar, if you can get out of this inning just only giving up the 1 run, that is a win. Misses for ball one. Winterstellar, so it's a 1-1 count. Winterstellar fires, swing and a miss from Estridge. Got back the pound of the zone there and gets the swing and a miss. 1-2 count. 2 outs. Buckeye Central has struck first. Winterstellar misses outside. Ball gets past him. The runner comes home. The toss to the plate. Not in time. Run scores. 2-0 Buckeye Central. So they score on the walk. And then they score on the pass ball. So first base is now open. Still 2 runners on. Both in scoring position. Buckeye Central a 2-run lead here in the top of the third. Estridge steps back in. Winterstellar looking to get out of it. Fires, misses, ball gets by Wqel again. Another run comes home and scores. 3-0 Buckeye Central. Back-to-back pass balls, gets by Wqel, the catcher for the Eagles, and brings home the 3rd run of the game for Buckeye Central here in the 3rd inning. We got time from the umpire, and now we're back to it. Full count. Winterstellar looking to get out of it. Fires. Chopped over to the shortstop. Fielded cleanly. The throw to first is high, but Carpenter gets him on the tag at first. And Colonel Crawford gets out of it, but not before Buckeye Central puts up 3 in the top of the 3rd. So we head to the home half of the 3rd inning. 3-0 Buckeye Central here on WBCO and OH Report.
He's going to send a line drive down the field. It'll be fielded on the bounce. That is Schieffer. Schieffer finds a hole at the center. Schieffer turns on the burners. Schieffer could go. He's at the 50, 45. He's got one man to beat. Schieffer with the ball in his left hand. He's going to take it to the house. Whitford opens up the second half with the kick return touchdown.
To Colonel Crawford High School, bottom of the third inning coming up. Buckeye Central struck first in the top of the third. Took a little while for us to get our first runs, but Buckeye Central puts up 3 there in the top of the third to give us the game's first action. Caden Jarvis now back on the mound. Moved pretty well through 2 innings. So beginning of the game had said it would be a bit of a pitcher's duel. Has not been a ton of hits. Buckeye Central got 3 runs off of walks and pass balls, but now we'll see if Colonel Crawford can answer. 8-9 hitters due up, and then top of the order will be back up for the Eagles. It will be Braden Hickman, the DH, number 13. Gabe Stratton will be on deck, the center fielder, and then Van Wintersteller will be back up. Top of the order. This one is hit hard to right field. First pitch swinging from Hickman. Fielded, and it is caught by Jeremiah Robinson out in right field. 1 pitch, 1 out for Caden Jarvis. And that will bring up Gabe Stratton. Lefty hitter here up, Gabe Stratton, playing center field today. Going to look to make Jarvis work here as Hickman went down on the first pitch. Made decent contact, but the ball just did not carry as Jarvis is in there for strike 1. Jarvis comes set, fires again. Hard hit to Robinson in right field. Goes back and makes the catch. Stratton hit it pretty well, but Robinson got under it and makes the basket catch. Couple of pitches, 2 down here in the bottom of the third. Top of the order back up for the Eagles. Van Wintersteller lined out to second base in his first at-bat, made good contact, couldn't get it down. First pitch from Jarvis, a swing and a miss from Wintersteller. Jarvis quickly gets set, throws, fires, misses, outside for ball 1. So getting a quick 2 outs through the 8-9 hitter. 1-1 to Wintersteller. Misses inside on the breaking ball for ball 2. So both pitchers again using that fastball breaking ball mix. Jarvis steps off the mound. Gets set quick, comes and fires. Misses high for ball 3, and just like that, Wintersteller is ahead 3-1. The 3-1 from Jarvis. Breaking ball misses for ball 4 as Wintersteller draws the 2-out walk, and he is aboard. Third walk for Jarvis. Wintersteller has 5 walks on that side. Now Jarvis his third. That'll bring up Parker Weithman, number 1. Walked his first time up. There's a runner on first. We'll see if Wintersteller tries to get himself in a scoring position. They throw back over to first, not in time. Buckeye Central was very quick to be aggressive on the base pass, stealing bases, laying down bunts, but with 2 outs, I'm sure Wintersteller will be aggressive. The throw back to first, not in time. Jarvis trying to keep him close. Jarvis throws back a third straight time, misses. Not in time. Jarvis really does not want Wintersteller running here with 2 down. Quick slide step, hit hard over to the second baseman. Takes a tough bounce. Fields it, the throw to first, offline. Runners are going to go. Wintersteller's into third. They're sending him home. The throw to the plate is in time. They call him out. What a throw from the dugout to get Wintersteller as he went home. And that's how the inning will end. An error over at first. Buckeye Central gets aggressive, or excuse me, Colonel Crawford gets aggressive, but they get the out at the dish as they hold Colonel Crawford scoreless through 3. We head to the 4th here on WBCO and oh.report.
He's going to send a line drive down the field. It'll be fielded on the bounce. That is Schieffer. Schieffer finds a hole at the center. Schieffer turns on the burners. Schieffer could go. He's at the 50, 45. He's got one man to beat. Schieffer with the ball in his left hand. He's going to take it to the house. Whitford opens up the second half with a kick return touchdown.
After a hectic end to the 3rd inning. So Buckeye Central spots 3 and then had the error over at first. Colonel Crawford got aggressive. They sent Wintersteller home. An excellent throw from the dugout. The play at the plate, and it looked like Wintersteller might have gotten under the tag. Umpire disagreed. They called him out. And a big out for Buckeye Central to keep the game at 3-0. And they'll look to add on to their lead here on the top of the 4th. Number 24, Dylan Heidinger, will be up to bat. Grounded out to second base, his first time up. So ball 1. This one is chopped back to the catcher. Foul ball, it'll be strike 1. So 1-1 now on Heidinger. Wintersteller evened up the count 1-1. Looking to keep this game at 3-0. Chopped over to the second baseman. Fielded cleanly. The throw is in time, and that'll be out number 1. Heidinger could not beat it out. Second ground out to second for him, and that'll bring up number 12, Jeremiah Robinson, the right fielder. Jeremiah Roberson, made a couple of nice catches out in right field last inning. Recorded the first 2 outs. Wintersteller misses outside for ball 1. Another big gust of wind coming in, as that's just kind of how the game has been today. Haven't had too many hard hit balls. Colonel Crawford had a couple of pretty hard hits out the right field. Roberson made some nice catches. Wintersteller fires, gets the swing and a miss. It feels like 35 degrees out here. 24-mile-an-hour gust of wind just came in. Roberson chops this one foul. Ty Kraft on deck. The third batter due up in the inning for the Bucks here on the top of the 4th. Wintersteller fires, chopped back to him at the pitcher's mound, runs over to first and makes the out. So Roberson now 0 for 2 today. That'll bring up Ty Kraft. Number 13, the second baseman, walked in his first at-bat. This would be a big inning for Wintersteller, especially after last inning. Buckeye Central wasn't really hitting the ball off him to score some runs. Scored on a walk and then 2 pass balls by the catcher, Grady Riggle. But he gets a swing and a miss here from Kraft on the first pitch. Wintersteller doing a great job of getting the outside part of the plate. Draws a lot of swings and misses with that breaking ball. Misses there for ball 1. the outside part of the plate again. The 1-1. Swing and a miss from Kraft. 1-2 is the count now. Wintersteller has drawn a lot of swings and misses. The 1-2 misses high on the breaking ball. Wintersteller comes set the 2-2. Swing and a miss from Kraft. He struck him out. And that is a quick top of the fourth inning for Van Wintersteller. He quickly works through the 3 due up. That'll take us to the bottom of the fourth. You're listening on WBCO and watching on oh.report.
Farmall. 100 years of can-do. 100 years of milestones. 100 years of family. Generation after generation, its legacy lives on. The one for all since 1923.
Bottom of the fourth inning coming up, 3-0 Buckeye Central. 3 due up for the Eagles will be Deagan Moore, number 4, Nate McCartney, number 2, and then Joe Zizzo, number 3, heart of the order coming up for the Eagles. So last time they were up in the third inning, started off the inning with 2 flyouts. Van Wintersteller draws the walk, and then Parker Weithman hits it over to second base, draws the error. Runners were coming around. Excellent throw from the dugout by Buckeye Central to get Wintersteller out at the plate. Keeps the game at 3-0, but Caden Jarvis will be back out to work the fourth. First pitch hits the inside part of the plate for strike 1 on Deagan Moore. Deagan Moore 0 for 1. Lined out to second base in his first at-bat. Hits it over to the third baseman. So they're going to say foul ball, maybe off the foot of Deagan Moore. He's hobbling. He did not run down to first. So I think they're going to say it was a foul ball off the foot of Deagan Moore as he tries to walk it off. I think it definitely got him on the left foot. So the third base coach will have a chat with Moore as he tries to shake it off. But in this cold weather, I'm sure that can't feel good, even though he's wearing a foot and ankle protector. But in this cold weather, anything is going to sting. So Moore walks back into the box. Behind the count 0-2, Jarvis looking to quickly work through things as he often does. And breaking ball in just barely misses Moore. So the 1-2 from Jarvis. Kicks and fires. Chopped over to the third baseman. Coming in hot on it, fields it cleanly. The throw across the diamond is in time. Excellent play from the third baseman, Dylan Heidinger. Charged it. Caught it in one motion, makes the throw across the diamond to get the speedy Deagan Moore in time. And you have to wonder if Moore maybe didn't hit that first pitch off his foot, would he have been a little more full speed down to first base. That's the first out, and that'll bring on Nate McCartney, number 2. 0 for 1 here in this one. Bases empty with 1 out. Jarvis fires, misses inside. So we've seen Wintersteller try to utilize the outside part of the plate. He's missed some, but he's drawn tons of swing and misses. Jarvis now has missed a lot of pitches high as he does here for ball 2. He's missed high and he's missed high and in. Sometimes that breaking ball just doesn't break. He's behind in the count 2-0 here to McCartney. McCartney pops this one sky high. Might not be playable, and it's back into the parking lot. First strike on McCartney. Count is 2-1. Jarvis comes set, kicks, fires. This one is lined to Roberson in right field, but he makes the catch once again. Yeah, a couple of nice plays out there in right field as McCartney goes down for out number 2. Number 3, Joe Zizzo steps into the box. 0 for 1 today, got caught striking out looking in his first at-bat. First pitch from Jarvis misses just low. Nice stop by Fishpaw in the dirt. Grady Wriggle on deck if they can get to him. Jarvis misses high for ball 2. So he started behind in the count, 2-0. Last at-bat to McCartney was able to get out of it. Jarvis steps off here. Call time. Very well could have been a balk. Almost went into his motion. This is high for ball 3 anyway. 3-0. So Zizzo steps in. We'll see if he has the green light here on 3-0. And almost hit him anyway. Ball gets by the catcher. Zizzo over to first. And he thought about going to second, but he'll hold up as he draws the 2-out walk. That'll bring up the catcher, number 7, Grady Wriggle. Walked his first time up. He'll work with the runner on first. Runners have been hard to come by for Colonel Crawford. Have not had too many runners on besides last inning. They got aggressive, tried to bring him home, but Buckeye Central did not allow that. Throw back over to first. Jarvis loves to keep his runners close here with 2 outs. Jarvis fires. Hit over to the left side, gets by Haydinger for a base hit from Grady Wriggle. So a 2-out walk and then a 2-out single. And there's some traffic on the bases for the Eagles. Runner at second and first with 2 down, and that'll bring up big Caden Carpenter, the first baseman. Struck out his first time up. Carpenter would love to join the party and get on base or try and bring a runner in, give Colonel Crawford, get them on the board. Jarvis, fires, misses for ball 1. They've got Zizzo at second, Wriggle at first. Both guys looking around on contact. Jarvis fires. Called strike 1 on the outside part of the plate. You see the breaking ball just got there, and it's 1-1. Jarvis fires, hit over to the right side, fielded by the second baseman, and in time as Colonel Crawford strands a pair. They stay scoreless. 3-0 at the end of 4. We head to the 5th here on WBCO and oh.report.
He's going to send a line drive down the field. It'll be fielded on the bounce. That is Schieffer. Schieffer finds a hole at the center. Schieffer turns on the burners. Schieffer could go. He's at the 50, 45. He's got one man to beat. Schieffer with the ball in his left hand. He's going to take it to the house. Whitford opens up the second half with a kick return touchdown.
On oh.report. 3-0 Buckeye Central. They'll be back due up here to start the fifth inning. Van Wintersteller back on for his fifth inning of work. Has pitched pretty well today, really just outside of that third inning where gave up some runners on balls, ended up walking in a run, and then 2 runs scored on back-to-back pass balls by the catcher Grady Riggle. But other than that, runs have been hard to come by. And Wintersteller has pitched pretty well. Has recorded 4 strikeouts so far. We'll look to get back to work here. Blaze Metzger, the number 9 hitter, will be the first one due up here in this inning. And then the top of the order will come up. Jarvis on deck and Hunter Caudill will be in the hole. Metzger 0 for 1. Bunted his first time up. Tried to get the runner over, and he did. Was out at first, but he did move the runner. Only lefty hitter in the lineup today for the Bucks. Wintersteller comes at the plate, swing and a miss for strike 1. We've mentioned Wintersteller likes to work the outside part of the plate here. Can't really do that against the lefty hitter, but he blows by another one by Metzger for strike 2. So 2 swings and misses on 2 pitches. Wintersteller comes again. 3 pitches, 3 swings and misses. That's the 5th strikeout for Van Wintersteller. So again, Wintersteller's been great, really outside of that third inning. Other than that, he has kind of mowed through the lineup. Jarvis 0 for 1 today, struck out in the first inning, walked his second time around. He comes up with the bases empty with 1 out and watches ball 1. Jarvis doing the pitching for Buckeye Central has pitched very well himself. 4 shutout innings. Wintersteller comes with the plate and fires for strike 1. So Jarvis, one of the better bats here in this lineup for the Bucks. The 1-1 from Wintersteller. Hit hard to the third base side, fielded nicely on the hop. A throw across the diamond is in time for out number 2. Real nice play at third base for Colonel Crawford. That is the third baseman, Nate McCartney, makes the nice play. First pitch is in there for strike 1 to Hunter Caudill. 0 for 2 today, 2 strikeouts. So Wintersteller looks to get through the 5th inning. Foul tipped for strike 2. So Wintersteller moving quickly through this inning, wasting no time. The 0-2 from Wintersteller. 2 outs. Just barely misses for ball 1. Looked like he got the outside part of the plate, but maybe not enough. It'll be 1-2. He comes home, swing and a miss for strike 3. Wintersteller picks up his 6th strikeout of the game as he continues to look good. 5 innings complete for him. We head to the bottom of the 5th here from Colonel Crawford.
Farmall. 100 years of can-do. 100 years of milestones. 100 years of family. Generation after generation, its legacy lives on. The one for all since 1923.
Welcome back to Colonel Crawford here. Bottom of the fifth inning. Coming up, 3-0 Buckeye Central. You're listening on WBCO or watching on oh.report. Audio and video available today from Colonel Crawford in what's been some tough conditions. Very windy, very cold, but both pitchers have pitched well. Winter Stellar on the mound for Colonel Crawford. Caden Jarvis on the mound for Buckeye Central. 8-9 hitters due up for Colonel Crawford. Then top of the order, Braden Hickman up first right now. 0 for 1, flew out to right field his first time up. He's got a 1-1 count right now. Seen a lot of hard hit balls out to right field. Jeremiah Roberson's made a couple of nice plays as Jarvis fires in for strike two. The 1-2 from Jarvis blows it by him for strike three. And we've got our first out of the inning as Hickman goes down swinging. Just the third strikeout of the day for Jarvis, so he hasn't had as many punch-outs as we're accustomed to seeing from him, but when the ball's been in play, the Buckeye Central defense has made nice plays. 1 out, Gabe Stratton to the plate. Watches ball one. He's 0 for 1, flew out to right field as well. His first time up. Ball inside. It's going to say hit Stratton on the foot. So that'll be a 1-out base runner on the hit by pitch. And Buckeye Central head coach disagrees, not thinking it hit him. Wanting a quick explanation, so he gets it. So Stratton over to first. Top of the order up here, Van Wintersteller. 0 for 1 today. Hard line out to second in his first time up, and a walk his second time. Throw over to first base, not in time. Jarvis continues to try and use that pickoff move, has yet to get anybody. Stratton a big lead. Throws over again, not in time. A little bit of communication between Jarvis and his first baseman. Runner goes. Ball is in there for a strike. It gets by the catcher, but runner advances to second. The first baseman, Lance Cole. Not sure if Jarvis was telling him to put the tag on harder or what, but 0-1 count. Runner on second. 1 out here in the inning. Van Wintersteller to the plate, top of the order. Misses high for ball one. 1-1 count from Jarvis to Wintersteller, pitcher to pitcher. Big lead at second from Gabe Stratton. Colonel Crawford looking to get on the board. Wintersteller pops this one up into the outfield, into the left center gap. Center fielder gets underneath it and makes the catch to retire Wintersteller. Hunter Caudill out in center field, recording the out. 2 down here in the inning for the Eagles. Parker Weithman due up, walked his first at bat, reached on an error his second time up. Well, didn't reach on the error, but because they got that out at home, the throw back to second to Stratton, not in time. I think every time there's been a run around with 2 outs, Jarvis has tried to pick them off. But again, yet to be successful. 2 outs here in the bottom of the fifth, run around second. Colonel Crawford trailing by 3. This is inside from Jarvis for ball 1. Jarvis comes set on the mound. Stratton taking a bigger lead. Jarvis throws back to second. Ball gets into center field. Stratton not going to go anywhere. Hunter Caudill right there to back things up. So again, Jarvis just paying a lot of attention to the runners here on the base path, especially with 2 outs. You think you'd want to try to come home, 2 outs, try and get the out. You must really want that pickoff out. A 1-0 count, comes home, swing and a miss. Chop back to Jarvis on the mound. Underhand toss to first is in time for the 3rd out of the inning. Colonel Crawford stays scoreless through 5. We'll head to the top of the 6th here on WBCO and OH Report.
He's going to send a line drive down the field. It'll be fielded on the bounce. That is Schieffer. Schieffer finds a hole at the center. Schieffer turns on the burners. Schieffer could go. He's at the 50, 45. He's got one man to beat. Schieffer with the ball in his left hand. He's going to take it to the house. Whitford opens up the second half with the kick return touchdown.
Back to Colonel Crawford High School. 6th inning coming up, 3-0 Buckeye Central. They're looking to add on to their lead here. Lance Cole will be first one due up here in this inning. Van Wintersteller back out on the mound for his 6th inning of work. Has looked good today. Really just that 3rd inning for Buckeye Central where they spotted 3 runs on walks and pass balls has been about it. Lance Cole 0 for 1 today, ground out to second base and a walk through his first 2 at-bats. Watches strike 1 in there on the outside part of the plate where Wintersteller has really made a living today. On the outside part of the plate, got a lot of swings and misses, some called strikes. Lance Cole chops one over to third. Play is made across the diamond, and in time, Cole is retired. We'll bring up number 22, Jeremiah Fishpaw. 1 for 1 today, singled earlier in the game and walked as well. Nice play by McCartney at third base for Colonel Crawford. First pitch to Fishpaw, hit down the third base line, but just barely foul. Almost placed it perfectly over the bag, but it just went to the left of the bag. It'll be strike 1. So Fishpaw comes back to the box. Behind the count 0-1. Wintersteller fires and misses for ball 1. So both pitchers have really kept the pitch counts low for the most part and have worked through the order. As Wintersteller misses for ball 2, it'll be 2-1. Wintersteller comes set and fires. Breaking ball is in there for strike 2. Austin Estridge on deck with the 3rd hitter due up here in this inning for the Bucks as Wintersteller misses outside. Full count here on Fishpaw. Fishpaw singled earlier in the game, ended up getting picked off at second. And breaking ball gets in there for strike 3, a good looking pitch. As that is the 7th strikeout for Van Wintersteller. He has got plenty of those punch outs here today, has looked good. Gets Fishpaw down looking. So number 6, Austin Estridge up to the plate, 0 for 1 today, walked his first time up. Wintersteller misses outside for ball 1. And these conditions have not eased up. The wind continues to swirl around and make things tough. Both pitchers, well, neither pitcher has really had an issue with it. They both have thrown well. Wintersteller misses outside. behind in the count here to Estridge, 3-0. Dylan Heidinger awaits on deck if he can get a chance. And Wintersteller walks him on 4 pitches. So a 2-out, 4-pitch walk to bring up number 24, Dylan Heidinger. Estridge walked for the second time today. Heidinger 0 for 2, a pair of groundouts to second. Wintersteller fires, chopped back up the middle, fielded by the shortstop. He'll go to first for the out, and that will do it through the top of the 6th. Still remains 3-0 Buckeye Central. Colonel Crawford running out of chances to try and tie this thing up. We'll be right back after this.
He's going to send a line drive down the field. It'll be fielded on the bounce. That is Schieffer. Schieffer finds a hole at the center. Schieffer turns on the burners. Schieffer could go. He's at the 50, 45. He's got one man to beat. Schieffer with the ball in his left hand. He's going to take it to the house. Whitford opens up the second half with the kick return touchdown.
Here to Colonel Crawford High School, bottom of the 6th inning here, 3-0 Buckeye Central. Colonel Crawford running out of chances to try and get back in this one. Only trail by 3, but Caden Jarvis has been very solid today. Heart of the order due up here for Colonel Crawford as Deagan Moore watches strike 1 go by. It'll be Deagan Moore, Nate McCartney, and Joe Zizzo, the 3 due up for the Eagles. Deagan Moore 0 for 2 today. Hard hit, base hit into left field. And Deagan Moore gets things started with a leadoff single. And very rarely has Colonel Crawford gotten their leadoff guy on, but Deagan Moore comes out aggressive and knocks one into left field as that'll bring up Nate McCartney, 0 for 2 today. But looking to get on the board here. Moore over at first. Jarvis comes home. This one has popped up. First base side, and it will be out of play, out of the track. So Jarvis here in his 6th inning of work has been great today. Only 3 strikeouts, but has got a lot of ground ball outs, a couple of fly outs, has not given up too many hits like we just saw to Deagan Moore. Moore pretty hefty lead over at first, a throw back, not in time. Jarvis has thrown over a ton, especially to first base. Done a lot with 2 outs, which has been interesting. But Moore keeping that big lead over at first. Throw over again, not in time. Been interesting. They haven't had many errors over there either. Every throw has pretty much been on the money, just not quite in time. Jarvis comes home, misses high. Ball 1. So McCartney steps in, 1-1. Moore over at first. Big leads all around. McCartney squares around a bunt, goes foul. So down 3, Colonel Crawford looking to just try and get runners in scoring position, get runners on base any way they can. Center fielder shaded over to the right. His left, our right. Jarvis misses high for a ball 2. 2-2. Tough take from McCartney there. Just a little high, but with 2 strikes, not an easy one to lay off of. Throw back over to first once again, not there. So McCartney steps in. Jarvis comes set. The 2-2. The runner goes, not in time. He is safe. A good-looking pitch from Jarvis was called a ball, so it'll be a full count, but Deagan Moore puts himself in scoring position. So Colonel Crawford being aggressive. Full count. Jarvis comes home. Misses for ball 4, and Colonel Crawford has the first 2 guys aboard. Long at bat from McCartney, draws the walk. Good battle, and that'll bring up Joe Zizzo, and we'll have a mound visit. Head coach for Buckeye Central wants to talk things over. Joe Zizzo waiting to bat. 2 guys on, nobody out. Colonel Crawford looking for their first runs of the game. Jarvis has been excellent so far, but hasn't really had to deal with much traffic like this. 2 guys on, nobody out. As I said, Colonel Crawford obviously running out of opportunities to try and cut into the lead. So Zizzo steps into the box here. We're set back to resume action. Nobody down, bottom of 6. Jarvis fires home. This is outside for ball 1. Joe Zizzo can really flip the script here with a base hit or even just getting on base to load them up potentially for Grady Wriggle on deck. Jarvis comes home, squared around a bunt. Missed it though. Tried to advance both base runners. Again, just a little interesting. You're still down 3 if you're Colonel Crawford. I almost still want your guys to kind of swing away. But 1-1 count. Throw back over to first. That should be a balk, which is what the Colonel Crawford coaches are saying. Umpires are going to discuss. Definitely should be a balk here. He didn't step behind the rubber. He quickly flipped his hips and feet and pump fake. Didn't throw it over to first. I don't know if he didn't think Cole was on first. We'll see what the umpires are talking about here as they converse on the mound. And Jarvis has obviously continued to use this pickoff move, but he didn't step behind the rubber. You can get away with it not throwing it if you step behind the rubber, but if you quickly flip your hips and feet, you can see right here on the video, you have to throw the ball, but the umpires say nothing happened. So Zizzo steps back into the box here. 1-1. 2 runners on. Squares around a bunt, went ahead and missed it. So now behind in the count, 1-2, is Joe Zizzo. Would be a big out here for Jarvis if he can come through and get it. Jarvis comes home, fires it in there for strike 3. Caught Zizzo looking, and he knows it. Zizzo goes down, striking out looking for the second time today. Jarvis picks up his 4th K, and that'll bring up Grady Wriggle. So 1 out with 2 guys on. Wriggle 1 for 1 today. Walked his first time up, single to left. His next time up, pops one, foul to the right side, onto the track. So if Jarvis could get out of this would be extremely impressive. A big strikeout there to Zizzo to get the first out. And goes behind the batter. A breaking ball did not break by Jarvis. Runners advance into scoring position. Big miss there from Jarvis as now a base hit. Potentially scores 2. And Wriggle already has 1 hit today. I believe Colonel Crawford only has 2 hits. Deagan Moore has 1, had 1 to lead off the inning. Wriggle has the other. Outside part of the plate is there for strike 2 as Wqel watches it go by. Behind in the count, 1-2. Just one out. Jarvis looking for number 2. Outside part of the plate called strike 3. Back-to-back Ks for Caden Jarvis as Wqel goes down looking. 5th K for Caden Jarvis. And that brings up the first baseman, big Caden Carpenter. 0 for 2 today. Strikeout and a ground out. Chops one foul left side. Again, this would be a huge missed opportunity if you're Colonel Crawford. 2 guys in scoring position with 1 out. Had the first 2 guys aboard. But Jarvis doing a nice job of trying to get out of it. Jarvis comes home. Swing and a miss from Caden Carpenter. Again, just 2 hits today from Colonel Crawford. Jarvis has been excellent. It's really one of the few times they've tested him. Jarvis comes home. Called strike 3 on the outside part of the plate. 3 straight strikeouts looking for Colonel Crawford to end the inning as we go to the 7th. It's 3-0 Buckeye Central. You're listening on WBCO and oh.report.
He's going to send a line drive down the field. It'll be fielded on the bounce. That is Schieffer. Schieffer finds a hole at the center. Schieffer turns on the burners. Schieffer could go. He's at the 50, 45. He's got 1 man to beat. Schieffer with the ball in his left hand. He's going to take it to the house. Whitford opens up the second half with a kick return touchdown.
Only that one inning that Buckeye Central spotted 3, and it was really off of walks and pass balls, not a ton of hard hits. But Colonel Crawford just unable to give him any sort of run support. Just a pair of hits in this one as Caden Jarvis has been dominant for Buckeye Central. And we said in the beginning of the game, very easily could be a pitcher's duel, and that's exactly what it's been here in some of these colder conditions today. But 7th inning set to go. Buckeye Central would love to get some insurance runs here. As see who will be due up. I believe Jeremiah Roberson, the right fielder, so 7, 8, and 9 hitters due up for the Bucks. Roberson 0 for 2 today, a pair of groundouts. So Roberson steps in as Wintersteller looks to go a complete game here through the 7th. First pitch from Wintersteller is in there for strike 1. So Caden Jarvis got out of that last inning with 3 straight looking strikeouts to end the inning as Roberson chops one over to third. Under the glove of McCartney, and Roberson is in there safely. I believe that'll go down as an error in the scorebook, but McCartney had a good jump on it, came at it, just did not bounce into his glove, went right underneath it, and Buckeye Central has the leadoff man aboard on the error. That'll bring up the second baseman, Ty Kraft. He squares around a bunt, went foul. Will be safe on the throw down to first. I thought it was a foul ball. It sounded like he hit it, and it went foul. So the throw over shouldn't have mattered anyway, but it will be strike 1 to Ty Kraft. Throw over to first. Not in time. Going to 1 account. Tycraft 0 for 1 today. Walked his first time up and then struck out. Winterstellar, 7 strikeouts today. Misses low for ball 1. Takes a bad hop on Wqel. And Roberson is into second base safely. He advances on the tough hop to Wqel. Pitch was a little low, but just went high up in the air, giving Roberson plenty of time to get down there. So runner in scoring position with nobody down. Strike 2 called on the outside corner over the plate. 1-2. Blaze Metzger, the number 9 hitter, on deck. This one is hit over to the second base side. Tough bounce. Fielded. Throw is in time. First out of the inning, but the runner advances to third. I'm going to bring up the number 9 hitter, Blaze Metzger, 0 for 2 today. Out on a bunt in the first, or for his first time up, and then struck out the next time. Top of the order on deck with Caden Jarvis. So Metzger steps in, squares around a bunt, pulled it back, I believe, for ball 1. Roberson standing on third would be a nice insurance run for Buckeye Central. Squares around a bunt again. And I had almost hit him. But I can't tell if it hit Metzger or the bat. Either way, they're going to say a foul ball and a strike. So it'll even up to count at 1-1. So Metzger steps in. Infield all the way in. Squares around a bunt, and he's trying to bunt anything to try and get this run home, but he's now got 2 strikes on him. He's going to have to swing away. Pitch was, a breaking ball came in at Metzger, and he still tried to fend it off with a bunt. Winterstiller comes home, misses outside for ball 2. Two and 2 count, 1 down, runner on third. Winterstiller comes home, misses outside for ball 3. It's a full count. Winterstiller comes home, chopped over to second base. Fielded, and the throw is made to get the out at first, but a run comes home to score as Buckeye Central tacks on another to make it 4-0. And now top of the order up with 2 outs, Caden Jarvis. First pitch for Winterstellar to Jarvis. Swing and a miss. Struck out his first time up, walked earlier. But the main story for Jarvis has been dominant pitching. He's only given up a pair of hits, 5 strikeouts through 6 innings. Winterstellar misses for ball 1. Metzger on the ground out will get the RBI. And strike 2 on Caden Jarvis. 1-2. Winterstellar looking to get out of things and get Colonel Crawford back up to bat. Ball misses inside for ball 2. 2-2 count. Nobody on. 2 down, top of the 7th. Winterstellar comes home and just barely misses Jarvis, but the breaking ball just barely misses the strike zone. And it'll be a full count. Full count. 2 outs, the payoff pitch. Fouled off. So Jarvis stays alive, gets himself another chance. Winterstellar comes home, fouled off. Jarvis stays alive. Another foul tip. We'll do it again. Full count, 2 outs. The pitch from Wintersteller is a called strike 3 on the outside part of the plate. Jarvis goes down looking as Wintersteller gets his 8th strikeout of the game, and that will take us to the bottom of the 7th. Last chance for the Eagles coming up after this.
He's going to send a line drive down the field. It'll be fielded on the bounce. That is Schieffer. Schieffer finds a hole at the center. Schieffer turns on the burners. Schieffer could go. He's at the 50, 45. He's got one man to beat. Schieffer with the ball in his left hand. He's going to take it to the house. Whitford opens up the second half with the kick return touchdown.
Colonel Crawford High School, last chance for the Eagles, bottom of the 7th, 4-0 Buckeye Central as they look to improve to 7-2 if they can hold here. Caden Jarvis is in for his 7th inning of work, shutout 6 innings so far, as he'll look to finish off the job. Number 13, Braden Hickman, will be the first batter. Gabe Stratton on deck, the number 9 hitter, as Jarvis pounds the zone for strike 1. And then Van Wintersteller will be the 3rd hitter due up for the Eagles. Jarvis comes home, hits the inside part of the plate for strike 2, quickly ahead 0-2. Colonel Crawford looking to avoid dropping their 5th straight game. The 0-2 from Jarvis misses high. Ball 1. The 1-2 from Jarvis. Fouled off by Hickman. Jarvis comes home. Fouled off by Hickman. He continues to stay alive. Hickman 0 for 2 today. The DH flew out to right field his first time up and struck out. Just one of the 5 strikeouts from Jarvis, but make it 6 as Hickman goes down looking. Strikes him out for the 2nd time. 4th straight looking strikeout from Caden Jarvis. Give him 6. And that'll bring up the lefty, Gabe Stratton. Stratton 0 for 1. Flew out to right field his first time up. Hit by pitch his 2nd time up. Jarvis comes home, misses high. Stratton, the only lefty in the lineup for Colonel Crawford. Both teams just one lefty in the lineup, both batting 9th. So in that last inning, Jarvis got into a bit of a jam. Had some guys on. Two leadoff guys reached aboard for Colonel Crawford, but they just couldn't bring him home. Jarvis misses high there for ball 2. The catcher, Jeremiah Fishpaw, will call time and have a chat with his pitcher. Fishpaw is going over what they want to do one more time. Calm him down a little bit as he's behind the count 2-0 here. For the top of the order on deck in Van Wintersteller. Jarvis comes home. This is high for ball 3. And a lot of these pitches that Jarvis has missed on have been high. Either high or inside of some of these right-handed batters. And Jarvis misses for ball 4. It's a 4-pitch walk for Stratton. So they get a guy aboard with one down. Top of the order due up here Van Wintersteller. 0 for 2 today. Line out to second, a walk, and a fly out to center. Runner on first. Jarvis comes home. Throws it in there for strike one. Inside part of the plate there. 0-1 count, one down. Jarvis misses low for ball one. Throw over to first. Not there. Parker Weithman on deck. Jarvis misses high, gets to the backstop. Runner moves into second. It's Stratton. Takes a big round at second, but he'll stay there. And with one out, Colonel Crawford has a runner in scoring position. Wintersteller has a chance to bring home their first run. Jarvis comes home, swing and a miss by Wintersteller. Outside part of the plate, a little too far out of the reach. 2-2, Jarvis comes home, misses high, ball three, full count. Now, sometimes in these situations, Jarvis might be moving a little too quick for himself. I mean, I know it's the rhythm that he likes to be in, but maybe sometimes you just kind of get a little out of rhythm by going so fast. But strike three is called. And that will be another strikeout for Caden Jarvis. His seventh. Yet another looking strikeout for Jarvis. Parker Weithman up to the bat. Down to their final out is Colonel Crawford. Chopped over to the second baseman. Fielded on the tough hop. The throw to first is in time, and that will do it. Buckeye Central wins it 4-0 here on what was a cold and windy day for baseball behind the 7 shutout innings from Caden Jarvis. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with our post-game report, and we'll bring up Caden Jarvis for an interview as he is our player of the game. So Buckeye Central pulls it out 4-0 on the road. They improve to 7-2, but we'll be right back here on Wbco and oh.report for the post-game show.
Farmall. 100 years of can-do. 100 years of milestones. 100 years of family. Generation after generation, its legacy lives on. The one for all since 1923. Farmall. 100 years of can-do. 100 years of milestones. 100 years of family. Generation after generation, its legacy lives on. The one for all since 1923.
He's going to send a line drive down the field. It'll be fielded on the bounce. That is Schieffer. Schieffer finds a hole at the center. Schieffer turns on the burners. Schieffer could go. He's at the 50, 45. He's got one man to beat. Schieffer with the ball in his left hand. He's going to take it to the house. Whitford opens up the second half with a kick return touchdown.
Tonight's live and free baseball game simulcast on WBCO and right here on the OH Report is brought to you by our fine friends at Burkhart Farm Center. Farmers serving farmers. Also by Sutton Bank. You can earn the cash reward of your choice for doing simple activities with Kasasa. Scout Construction. With more than a decade of business, you can trust Scout Construction with your roofing and siding needs. Call Scout Construction for more information at 419-989-7240. Also, WBCO and Wbco-Wqel teaming up with us tonight, help sponsor this event. And finally, CB Electrical Services. They do a residential electrical troubleshooting, upgrades, and more. Plus, just like us, free estimates. Get a hold of them. They are in Galleon, 614-203-5188 or 419-565-2581. We are securing our MVP. Everybody is huddled up and cold at the moment, but we will be back with your MVP interview and post-game here very briefly.
Farmall. 100 years of can-do. 100 years of milestones. 100 years of family. Generation after generation, its legacy lives on. The one for all since 1923.
He's going to send a line drive down the field. It'll be fielded on the bounce. That is Schieffer. Schieffer finds a hole at the center. Schieffer turns on the burners. Schieffer could go. He's at the 50, 45. He's got one man to beat. Schieffer with the ball in his left hand. He's going to take it to the house. Whitford opens up the second half with the kick return touchdown.
Jarvis, a little chilly out there, I would say. We were freezing up here. Can only imagine what it was like down there. But before we get to the obvious weather questions, gotta ask you about that aggressive checkdowns. And is that something that is that a mental game? Is that just you making sure nobody's getting on? Where does that come from? And it's exciting to see.
So basically, when I grew up, I've been playing baseball my whole life. So playing in travel ball, you know, being in the program for so long, you get to check down and make sure the runners aren't going. I mean, it's number one goal.
Well, you do that, and you do that well, and it looks like you got a great chemistry with all of your first, second, and third base to be able to do that. We were counting them up here. We lost track, but more impressive, no, you didn't lose track of the ball.
Yeah.
Now, the weather out there, let's go ahead and break into that. Cold. How cold was it?
It was pretty cold, but when you're on the mound and your adrenaline's going, you kind of tend to get used to it. So I kind of just got used to it and let my performance play.
Well, you definitely did that. When you were slightly losing some control, they were going upstairs a little bit, but nothing got away and nobody getting in. So let's just talk about how that pressure built up right there and also what this win means in the conference to the Bucks.
So this is a rival for us, and we knew it coming in here. So I kind of just did my job, you know, put on a performance for my team, my coaches, and went out there and just did me.
Well, we really enjoy watching what me is, and that is Caden Jarvis. Caden Jarvis here on the OH Report for all of our MVPs. You want to look into that camera right now and give as many shout-outs as you want.
I want to shout out my coach. You know, he always brings me up, always makes sure I'm doing well, keeps me in check, and my teammates, you know, they're always there for me, keeping me up and giving me always something to look forward to.
Well, thanks again. Congratulations, Caden Jarvis. We're going to let you get out of here before the bus rolls on out of here. Here he is, our CB Electrical Services MVP.
Farmall. 100 years of can-do. 100 years of milestones. 100 years of family. Generation after generation, its legacy lives on. The one for all since 1923.
He's going to send a line drive down the field. It'll be fielded on the bounce. That is Schieffer. Schieffer finds a hole at the center. Schieffer turns on the burners. Schieffer could go. He's at the 50, 45. He's got one man to beat. Schieffer with the ball in his left hand. He's going to take it to the house. Whitford opens up the second half with the kick return touchdown.
And it's time for the Scout Construction post-game show. 4-0. Buckeye Central blanking the Eagles at the Eagle Nest. And unfortunately, that's going to take it to 5 losses in a row for Eagles. They're going to find that winning stride, or at least try to. And that's all you can really do. But the weather did not help anybody today. Here's a quick look at your final numbers. 4 runs in for those Bucks. 1 hit, 1 error. Colonel Crawford getting no runs in, 3 hits, leaving him out there, and also an error. It was a cold one, it was a fun one, but it's a done one. We want to thank our friends over at Wbco and Wqel for teaming up. Joey Korzunowski, man, hats off to you. Hats off also to our human popsicle, Jory Hollenbeck, all of our sponsors that make this free and live and all of that good stuff so you don't have to pay or go out into the cold.